my name is Heather Whittington, and I'm the author of a short story called Silenced Film, which will be appearing in the July 2020 issue of Breaking Rules Publishing's horror magazine. And today I'm here to read a little excerpt from that story. It's about a famous actress named Alhina, who is performing in a stage play called A Long Way to Goodbye. And she learns that it was based off of an old silent film from the 20s by the same name, and decides to go and see it on the big screen at a small movie house, and learns a few disturbing tidbits about what happened to the lead actress, Agina, during the filming of that movie. So here we go. Merv stood off to the right of the curtain, reading from a cue card in his hand. Alhina wondered how her daughter was doing, worried about the next auditions her manager had lined up, and mentally ticked off her to-do list for the rest of the day, until Merv's ominous tones brought her back. Agina Valhammer's sudden death while filming the last scene of this movie shocked the world, even more so when no immediate cause of death could be found. For a time, Richard Houston, the actor who portrayed Roy Carter, was under intense scrutiny for the accusation that he did indeed strangle the actress during the famous climactic moment, but no evidence on her neck or body supported this theory. The doctors concluded that her heart failed during the filming. Today we honor Agina's career and life with this special viewing of Long Way to Goodbye. He nodded to the smattering of applause from the handful of people occupying seats, then ducked behind the black curtain. Alhina wondered how much of that speech was true, as a piano player in the corner struck several powerful chords, with a long gliss right after. The screen filled with crackling grays and whites. The occasional blob of black or white obscured the view, but only added to the aged feeling of the picture. Agina burst onto the screen in a long swirling dress, laying her hands on her cheeks, then her chest. She gazed with deep suffering at the audience. A title card flashed next, but Alhina didn't bother to read it. She was too busy snickering at the melodramatic behavior of the lead actress. The male lead wasn't much better, at least not at first. As the movie rolled on, Alhina felt herself drawn into the story despite her misgivings. Ruby's arm, which pressed against her own, tightened. Alhina glanced over to see her deep frown of disapproval. No, of discomfort. Maybe fear? She turned her attention back to the movie, noting the differences between the story and the play she performed every weekend. She decided her own portrayal of the character was certainly more updated and more three-dimensional than this. But as the fated last scene approached, Alhina cringed away from the crazy, lovesick looks of the male character, Roy Carter. Each time he looked into the camera, she felt his gaze slicing through her brain. Her heart thumped in her chest as his hands crept toward Portia's throat. Agina Valhammer's eyes grew huge, surrounded by thick black lashes, and her painted lips spread in a grimace of horror. She backed away, holding her hands up as though to fend him off. The large hands latched around her neck. Alhina stopped breathing as she watched Agina's hands grip Roy Carter's wrists. They collapsed onto the couch. Life drained from Agina's eyes until her hands tumbled limply to her sides. The man released her neck, hands shaking. Agina's head slid off a cushion and her mouth slackened. The piano music crescendoed as the camera focused on her dead face. The end replaced the image, though it still burned in Alhina's mind. She blinked several times and gasped, finally remembering to breathe. Well, I hope you enjoyed this little excerpt from my story. Go to www.breakingrulespublishing.com and see what other cool stuff they have to read there. And keep a lookout for the July 2020 issue of Horror Magazine. And look for Silenced Film. Thank you so much for watching, and have a wonderful day.